Hey babies! So today I thought I would update you on some stuff and maybe talk about some random things. But the main purpose is to give you an update on the whole coming off of Lexapro things because all right, we hit that mark. We did. The challenge finally occurred. So yes, I am a fairy today. Today, as per usual, is filming day, not just for YouTube. So hi, this is what I look like. I painted my nails. This was very nice to do this morning while I was anxious because... Alright, so if you didn't watch my last video, totally understand. It was like me in casual mode sitting in bed. I'm literally squatting right now. It's very comfortable though. Yes, I was just in bed talking about how I had decided to come off Lexapro and that it's challenging, but something I really wanted to do for myself. So I have definitely hit over 10 days now. It's probably been a week and a half with no Lexapro in my system, maybe longer. I have made it a point to not track it because I don't want to get caught up in that. I feel like it will feel longer as I have a veggie burger burp. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm very energetic, but it's going better. So with Lexapro specifically, at least, it takes 6 to 10 days for it to completely leave your bloodstream and urine. So I didn't want to even consider myself taking on this process until it had passed through my body that way. But your brain actually readjusting is a much longer process. The acute withdrawal symptoms probably last about 6 weeks for most people's reports, but a lot of people don't feel back to normal for a full 3 months. Hence me not wanting to count the days because I'm in this for the long haul. So, I was doing pretty good, and then this weekend happened. Now, because I've had so much more energy, I've really been pushing myself to do a lot of things, especially because, honestly, exposure therapy works, and sometimes putting myself through something that's really challenging and stressful helps me manage the rest of the day's stress, because it's like, dude, why am I anxious just sitting around? That doesn't make any sense. There are things to actually worry about sometimes. So, basically, this weekend I really challenged myself by doing a really big drive that was scary. And I have really severe driving anxiety because my mom passed away in a freak car accident when I was 14. So particularly highways are the only thing I still struggle with. Highways still freak me out. Particularly you are up in the air on a freaking bridge driving at like 80 miles an hour. It's a lot. Especially for someone who can be overstimulated. You know, during the daytime when there's a bunch of cars on there and you're just flying in the air, it's a lot. As someone who is intimately familiar with how dangerous these automobiles are that we run around in every day. Anyways, I did a big long drive and I went and saw my family for my dad's birthday. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was the first time I was around my family and acting like myself in so long. It was the first time I saw them in general in a very long time, and I was just a big ball of happy energy and I had a good time and it was great. And then I slept really bad that night because I hadn't worked out for about 3 days and I was going to go on a run that morning. I made myself get up early because it's extremely hot during the day, so it's a lot safer to run in the morning, even though they do say you shouldn't force yourself to wake up super early to work out if that's not how you are naturally, because it can stress you out more. I don't really have a choice right now, so I woke up really early to go on a run, and also, unsurprisingly, they weren't even sure if I was going to come, so there was no like good vegetarian food at my dad's birthday party, and I didn't have access to very good food. So I went on a run after sleeping horribly and eating poorly the night before. I had thought maybe I should eat something a little extra when I got home, just like some extra protein and carbs, because there was like no protein there. But I was like, no, it's fine. You know, I can trust my body. No, you can't. I had an amazing run. I focused on my form. And running in a way that felt good on my calves and my back, and I still cut 20 seconds off my time. And then 2 hours after I had gone for a run, I felt like absolute crap because I had like maybe 4 or 5 hours of very interrupted sleep. I should not have forced myself to get up at 6 a.m. to go for a run. I learned that the hard way because I felt very sick afterwards, but I thought that I was just making it up in my head. and I couldn't focus on anything. And that's the most important thing, because like, yes, exercise burns energy, but for me personally, then I have more energy. And it's like, I have to put that towards something. And I learned the hard way that if I'm going to run in the morning, it needs to be on a day that I'm working, or I have to schedule things, because I didn't have enough to do. I was just going to play video games, which isn't important, and I wasn't able to focus on them because I felt really crappy. So I tried to sleep, which was a bad idea, because sleeping after exercising is fighting your heart rate. And you know what is also fighting your heart rate? A panic attack. So I got really bad anxiety, and it wouldn't stop because I no longer have a medication that keeps it on its lid, keeps a lid on it. It's funny because my vocabulary has expanded weirdly since I've quit Lexapro. I'm not saying that will happen to anyone else. I think I am just more alert and engaged in my conversation, so I'm actually using more words, but I also stumble more because I talk so fast. But yes. Yeah, I felt like crap, but I did all the right things. I actually made myself leave my apartment, and I went on a nice long drive that's not on highways, doesn't scare me, but a nice long drive to go get someone who's really sweet and gave me lots of cuddles, and we watched movies, and we even went to swim later so that I wouldn't get all stiff from my run because I wasn't being very active after that. Went on a nice swim, got some sun on my skin. And every day since then, this was Sunday, my anxiety has slowly been getting better because I've been making the right decisions. I went to work. I worked hard. Today is a day off, but I'm filming, and obviously I really, really went for it. I even painted these nails this morning. So basically, if you don't know, your cortisol levels are highest in the morning. So that's why a lot of people get really bad anxiety symptoms in the morning. And what sucks is if you have generalized anxiety disorder or panic disorder, if you don't handle those symptoms well, if you get overwhelmed by them and they start to ruin your day, you can feel like crap the whole day. And it's just because of the morning. And it's normal to also get anxious at night and stuff, but more often than not, you're getting it in the morning, especially between the hours of 6 to 10 a.m. So I've just kind of learned that, like, if I'm gonna go off Lexapro, I have to make sure I'm doing shit around that time. I think for a long time, honestly, maybe Lexapro was just saving me from it because I would sleep too much, and I would sleep through that time period. But if you're up and doing things around that time, it is normal for you to get kind of overstimulated and stressed out, especially if you have any stressors in your life, which everyone does, including me. My ankles. So making sure that I have enough to do in the morning, especially if I do work out, because I am like, wee, after I work out, like I actually like tend to like run around and do a whole bunch of things. That's why it was so successful on Thursday with my first really big good run, because I did a bunch of shit afterwards, and then eventually I went to work. But yes, I think I'm going to commit to hydrating better and not getting up quite so early. I think running at 8 or 9 when I naturally wake up, now that I'm no longer on Lexapro, that's what time I tend to wake up. Normally it would be more like 10 a.m. naturally, at the latest, or at the earliest, I mean. So every day it's been getting better. There's a lot of things that I know I can do. Make sure I go outside a couple times a day. Engage my mind. I think so much of my anxiety and depression is unfulfilled potential in a mind that is really powerful that needs to be put to work, so that it doesn't drive itself crazy. My dad used to tell me that all the time. Over the summer my mental health would drop, and he'd be like, you need like a summer job or something, like you're literally bored, you're driving yourself crazy. And I was offended because I was like, no, I have serious mental health issues, and I do, but there is an element of that. So anyways, things are getting better. Every day is better. I watch a lot of Jenna Julian podcasts because they remind me of the kind of people I want to be. Happy, bubbly, fun. I've been watching comedy movies, and I'm so picky. My sense of humor is very picky, but laughing is like such good like medicine. And also I've told everyone what I'm going through. Like even people at work know I'm coming off my meds, so they know that things are a little different. And also because I've been so open about it, and I have been more engaged in conversations when I'm having them, I'm more emotionally invested in the conversation. I have been deepening my connections and friendships with people, so they're actually a lot more willing to be supportive and engaged and to help me when I'm not feeling too good. So also, if you want to be my friend on like PlayStation or Apex or Discord, please do. I posted my Discord thing on Instagram. You can message me on there. It's _Heldrick_. If you don't already follow me, but you want to be friends on Discord, please let me know who you are and how you know me. Maybe tell me some things about yourself, because like I can't just be friends with anyone. I am finding that, especially as like a sex worker and stuff, like there's just kind of like some random guys who want to be my friend, and we might not have anything in common, and our conversations might not go that well, and it's just like, maybe we aren't meant to be friends, and that's okay. But there is a chance that maybe we could be really good internet friends, so definitely feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, I'm really like learning my relationship with exercise and anxiety, and my anxiety's relationship to exercise, and how to set myself up for success instead of kind of messing myself up. And anyways, so point being, I hit my first severe anxiety day, and it was a challenge, and it, instead of like waking up the next day and having a normal day, it has slowly fizzled out. It is taking a lot more effort on my part to move through any sort of episode, because it's all me. It's no longer medication, and if anything, coming off the medication is going to make it worse for a while. But anyways, let's talk about my Gloomy Bears to close. These are 2 Gloomy Bears that I got. I was obsessed with Gloomy Bear as an emo teenager, as you are, but I never had any. I got these off Mercari. Mercari is great for finding Gloomy Bears. I got a pastel one, and of course this one. Yes, just classic emo babies, but they're like the flat guys. I want one of the big giant ones, but yeah, I've had them for quite a while. They aren't very cheap, so like I haven't gotten any more, but I do finally have them. I love Mercari for that kind of thing, and also like if you ever want to buy something from like Shein or something but you don't want to support them, you can find a lot of stuff on there. I prefer over Depop. Depop confuses the crap out of me. But Mercari is really easy. I also have a ton of clothes that I set to the side and accepted I'll never fit into again now that I'm recovered. Ooh, I should talk about that. So I have like randomly gotten like really uncomfortable with my weight gain and stuff at times, and then so yesterday, like someone that I met on a dating app, you know, we ended up talking about the fact that I do sex work. I do try to be upfront about it, but a lot of dating apps, if you're wondering, will ban you even for mentioning it. So I tell people very quickly that that's one of my jobs, so that if they're not cool with it, then bye, because I don't care, and I would never stop for anyone. So he was like looking at my stuff and complimenting me on it and being really sweet, and it was cool, but it made me like go through my stuff, and I got to a point where like I was looking at my face and all of these things, and my face was so slim and like sharp and pretty, and I was like starting to feel really shitty, honestly, about how my face is now that I've gained weight. And then I saw a picture of like my upper body, like my arms and my chest and everything, and it was just the right angle where you could see that like, honey, you're sick, like you are not healthy. And I saw that picture and I was like, Jesus fuck. And it made me feel really weird, because I have literal like sex work content of me when I was unwell. So I started to really think about it. I was like, first of all, I hope I haven't like fueled any weird fetishists or anything, but also I was like, I feel really bad. Like I apologized on Twitter. I was like, hey guys, if I ever like triggered y'all's body image, I'm so sorry. I don't look like that naturally. I was suffering. I didn't care if I lived or died. I was actually planning on dying soon. That was an unwell body and everything, and I'm hoping to, once I make enough new content in a healthier body, I would probably prefer to remove a lot of that older content, except for the stuff I'm the most proud of. Maybe I would keep it backed up, but honestly, it sucks for me to look back on, and I don't want anyone who, you know, struggles with their own stuff to come on my OnlyFans and to start with, you know, like my recent stuff where I'm healthier and be like, oh yeah, and then end up triggered looking at my older shit. I don't think I'm a super triggering person, but at the same time, that's me lying to myself, because I literally did have some friends like tell me they were getting some space from me for a while because of the pictures I would post of myself and stuff. So taking responsibility for the fact that I continue to be sort of like a tiny baby influencer, and at least an online sex worker, while I was actively in my eating disorder and in an unwell body, is a weird thing to process, especially considering the fact that like it's so self-abusive to do that, because typically, and including in my case, your sex drive is very low while you are struggling with your eating disorder, and yet I was forcing myself to just push out literal pornography while I was sick, and it's like, at first I was like, it's weird that I was so self-abusive in that way, and then I was like, no, it wasn't, because I've been in bad situations and I've been taught that I'm a slab of meat, and if you've been through something like that and you decide to do sex work, it can empower you and it can drag you down just as easy, and probably far more likely. You've got to be really resilient for it not to. But I will say that filming is a lot more funner now that I am healthier. I should probably wrap this up because my phone has been having trouble processing videos lately. I might just completely leave this unedited because I think it's my video editing app. I don't know if they need to fix their crap or what, but my phone's been struggling. Is there anything else? I'm still up in the air as to whether I want to specifically continue to do running. Also, I might start introducing other forms of exercise because I don't know if it's the best long term for me, but we'll see. Yeah. Every day. So I've also been reading again, which is good for my anxiety. Obviously, sometimes if you're too anxious, you can't read, but when I can, I've been reading again, and I am still working on the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. And please, if you love fantasy novels and people have been telling you to fucking read those books, fucking read those books, so they're so good. I love, it's so good. But I'm working on Rhythm of War right now, but Oathbringer, the previous book from that one, there is a quote that's like, the most important step isn't the first one, is it? It's the next step. It's always the next step, Dalinar. And Dalinar is one of my favorite characters, even though he's like problematic war daddy who has a bad history, but especially the first book, like the crap he's going through, I was like, big felt. And you know, a lot of those characters go through things that like I could never even imagine, and but it's so true. Like, I've really been thinking about that over the past 3 or 4 days. It doesn't, you know, your current step, if you are falling, if you are tripping, if you are on your knees, that's not what's most important. What's most important is what you're going to do next. So it's okay that I had a bad day. I did everything I could and more, probably. Like, I'm impressed with how hard I've worked to go ahead and pull back out of that. But yeah, it's really one day at a time right now, but it's not too bad. You know, I don't feel like I'm on the verge of a breakdown or anything. It's just a lot of learning. So yeah, I'm gonna head out. Bye.